Welcome back to Sea of Galilee, DSMME, on this Thursday, December 3rd. And today we talk about one of my favorites, Abraham. I just love Abraham. I always thought if I had a son, I might name him Abraham, Joseph, Abraham, Joseph, something like that. In any case, or maybe Abraham, Joseph, David. I might just do the whole Jesse tree thing on him. But in any case, that's not my vocation, but I'm just saying today we think of stars. In Genesis 12 to 15, we have Abraham and the covenant. And Abraham stands before God facing the future. I love that. We all do, don't we? God had promised that Abraham would be the father of many descendants, but his wife Sarah seemed unable to even have children. So what is God talking about? Don't we all ask that question sometime? God, what are you talking about? Here you promise that I will be that my prodigy will never end, and you can't even let us have one child. But Abraham believes, and he actually, with his steward Eleazar, becomes an heir. God assures Abraham this is not his will and promises him he's going to have a son with his wife, Sarah. This is one of the most beautiful Old Testament stories. For all you people who want children, it doesn't seem to be God's blessing. Keep trusting, because that was Abraham and that was Sarah. And yet they believed. And more than that, the descendants of Abraham would have been as numerous as the stars. See the stars? I'm not sure that I mentioned this, but our sisters made every one of these Advent symbols. Isn't that beautiful? And they did it with their own creativity and their own love for you, so don't take them for granted, and have your children make them, or you make them yourself, or somebody make them for you and your family, and have your own Jesse tree. Or if you could be a college student and you've got a little branch and you're doing your little thing too. So here's Genesis 12 for today, the call of Abraham. The Lord said, "Go forth from your country, Abraham, your people, your father's household, because I'm going to show you a new land. I'm going to make you a great nation. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to make your name great, and you will be a blessing for all. I'm going to bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse." That's kind of nice to know. "And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." And Abraham believed the Lord, and he credited it to him as righteousness. Abraham chooses to believe in God. Again, do we? Do we in those difficult times? Do we when we're praying for our children to be born and come into the world? Do we when we have difficult decisions and huge things in our lives? Do we right now in the middle of a pandemic, or hopefully towards the end of the pandemic, and the pandemic is subsiding, at least we can pray. But in every little moment, do we trust or do we not trust? Are we really Christians or are we not? Are we along our way to Bethlehem, or are we stuck in the mud someplace? Look up at the stars and remember the covenant and the promise. And Abraham said yes, and Isaac is born. Signing off from the Sea of Galilee, DSMME. Stay in the heart of Mary next to her son. And stars deserve a high place. God bless. What in the world is the perfect gift to give at Christmas? I know, sister, I'm just in the mood too. And so, sister, as we consider this, there are two things that can be a combo. You can get this incredible world-renowned book, and Mary's Yes Continues, all about vocational discernment, which every one of you need to know.
We have our Jesse Tree Advent Journal, which helps you go through the Advent season preparing for the coming of Christ.
I want you to note that this book sells for $17.95 originally.
And this is $12.95 originally.
But we have a Super Saver Christmas special. Yes. And so we can now get the two books together for $24 even. Now that's a steal.